in this. Thank you for everyone that tunes in, and we're going to build an audience. We know that it's going to be starting off. If you've got comments, leave them in the chat and so forth. That's what we've got it there for. So, of course, if you have questions beforehand and you can't make a show live, we would be more than happy to take emails, honestly. So, and when I bring on my co-host, he can give his email. Of course, you can reach me at thegametriplej@gmail.com, and obviously, we'd love to have you live with your comments. And this show is going to be so great in terms of we're going to have guests. We're going to have former coaches, former players in either sport, and get their stories from the past, as well as show and talk about our love for West, of why we're doing this. But without further ado, I'm going to bring him on. He has been the voice of the Rebels basketball for 18 years, but I'm going to go a little bit deeper. He was also calling girls soccer and all sorts of things, anything he could get his hands on that wasn't really that important to the school at the time. So he's been announcing for a long time. He was a 2003 Mr. West, okay? So you got to show some respect and love for my guy. And he is the one and only Brian Tate, Mr. BT himself. Let's bring him on.
What's happening, man? Appreciate the introduction, man. But they gotta, since you're the Italian stallion, they gotta call me Two-Pair Tate. So
Two-Pair Tate, there we go. So that's it. I mean, honestly, and what's so funny about it, I want to give a shout out to I was doing a guest host for a show called You Talk that focused on Miami football and had some legends, and I got this idea about West from Devin Lloyd and Mr. Larry Frank, and their show has grown immensely in 3 or 4 years. So I got to give them a shout out for giving me this idea. And the thing is they always joked around that he is the Italian stallion, but he's got a lot of Apollo Creed in him with all my trash talk that I do. But the thing is, I trash talk, but I back it up. And what's up, everybody? It's your boy, the Italian Stallion, here for another episode of Rebels with a Cause. Can you believe how far we've come? 100 episodes, Santiani, as we like to say, 100 years in Italian. Guys, I can't thank you enough for tuning in and making this channel of where it's come. We've come a long way. I didn't know where it was going to be back then. It was December 2023. I got a lot more hair now than I used to have, and slimmed down about 50 or so pounds, but I think we've all changed in a way. The shot behind me is when Coach joined the show in episode 18, and that's exactly when we brought him on right there. And we've gone through a lot. You've grown with us, and we hope that we have 100 more episodes, hell, 1,000 more episodes in us as this channel continues to expand and grow, and it can't be done without you guys. And so from the bottom of my heart, I can't thank you guys enough. We're now at 128 subscribers, over 19,000 views. Keep punching that like and subscribe button for us, and 100 episodes strong with more shows on the way. These guys, we do it for the love of it, and we enjoy entertaining you guys whenever the episode's there, whether it's Wednesday, whether you're watching it live with us or watching it recorded, and even just listening for 10 seconds and hitting that like button is the reason why we do this. So we can't thank you enough. But it is Rebels with a Cause, and you know what time it is. It's time for that cause, because that cause don't stop when that clock hits zero. And it hasn't stopped for 100 episodes now. And, we're just growing. And I can't thank you guys enough for that. Got a little bit of housekeeping business that I want to get taken care of. Obviously, got a lot of shout outs and loves to give to. Can't thank everybody. But, as first and foremost, got some housekeeping. The views and opinions of this program are not affiliated with those of any other organizations or entities. These are solely the RWAC crew and panel's views. That's myself, the Italian Stallion, Two-Pair Tate, Brian Tate, the coach himself, Mr. Shane O'Mac, and Big Game Kerry Reeves, and any of our guests that come on, whether it's the Tower of Power, Brad Holloway, or our favorite Raging Cajun, the great Larry Frank Jr., LFJ. But that being said, though, guys, you got to give some love to some of our sponsors who have been with us from the beginning. Miss Kim Castle, who told me what I should do and always makes me look good for the camera. Go pay her a visit there at King's Chamber off of Washington Pike. The haircuts, the beard trims, the manicures, pedicures, 2 tasty beverages. Fellas, you will be treated like the king you deserve to be at her chamber. That is called the royal treatment right there. Also, got to give some love to Alex Thatcher, another day one supporter of ours, class of 2003 grad, his Knoxville Coffee Company. That brew is good any time of the day, right there off of Sutherland Avenue in the heart of Marble City. Go pay him a visit. Let him know Rebels with a Cause sent them. And also, Razor Shop Barbershop. If you're looking for the more traditional go-to place, that type of thing, go hit up Josh Finger, Corey. Let him know 2-Pair Tate 332 Studios and the Italian Stallion and Rebels with a Cause sent you. And also, speaking of the 332 Studios, follow them, Big Fact Sports Network. They're doing their thing. They're into everything. And hey, we all just support each other, whether it's this channel, that channel, the Utah channel. It's a brotherhood. And, we all have a voice. We all have something to say, and we all have that cause. And as I've mentioned, that cause don't stop when that clock hits zero. Got an interesting, fun show tonight. College football winding down, sadly. College basketball in the mix. Pro ball, hockey, NFL, anything you guys want to talk about. High schools wrapping up and so forth. That chat box, it drives it and so forth. So, more than anything, we want your opinion. Come on, let us know what you want to say. But listen, we've got some housekeeping business that we got to take care of. I got to bring on the crew because we're all celebrating today. Don't want to steal this guy's thunder because he's got an exciting thing because, you've been with him in his journey. The highs, the lows. I think you've been with us with all of our highs and lows. And that's what the realistic part of this show is that these are just guys. We're just rebels with a cause, all of us. And it really happens. We have real life situations that happen to us. But the thing is this is a moment that we all come together once a week. And this is my therapy hour. This is our male therapy hour to talk about sports and bitch about whatever you want. And it's amongst friends and it's all brotherhood and love. And that's what this show is all about. But without further ado, I want to bring him on because let me tell you something. Episode 18, and he was really a day one guy because realistically, he was in that chat box. He was our stats guy behind the scenes, and then he just evolved. Our guy Parker Dubon, Nick gave him the nickname the Coach, so it's just stuck, and he is the coach. And hopefully, we can get that show Coach's Corner with him started, and he can talk about whatever he wants to in his show. But that being said, I want everybody, whether you're watching this live or recorded, to give him the respect and love he deserves. He's a Super Vol fan. Sure, he's got a lot to talk about with the big game in the swamp. Get that monkey off our back. It's been way too damn long, 22 years in real time. But that being said, let's bring him on. The one, the only, Mr. Shane O'Mac, the coach. Here comes the money!
What's up? Yeah, no, the money's come and gone today. I bought a new truck today.
Wait a minute. Before you announce it, hold on. So the money's gone.
Yep, money's gone. Money's already came and gone. Till next week. Somebody's working extra hours this weekend, every week from now on. But I did go buy a truck today. Extremely excited. Slowly get my life back where it needs to be. So all praise to God, Lord Jesus Christ, for getting me through all this. Friends have helped and supported me. So
yeah, and I told you, man,
the big man upstairs.
I'm telling you, man, I was in the dumps too, and God is good. You put your faith in Him. When one door closes, another door opens, and I already see the color in you. Let me tell you something. It's just up from here on out, man. And don't look back.
The greatest part about today,
yep,
was literally just connecting my phone, driving around town, went and had dinner with my daughter, and listening to music.
There you go.
I miss driving, blaring my music, and just a little carpool karaoke.
Absolutely, man. I love it. Well, like I said, this has been it's so awesome that we've been doing this. You've been on since the beginning, episode 18, and it was awesome what you said to me that the episode 50 was literally last year at this time or something
one year ago.
1 year ago, we were at episode 50, so it's crazy, So, but yeah. Larry Frank, congratulations, yes, sir. And I hope you saw that intro because my brother, that was from the beginning. I always wanted to give credit to you and Devin Lloyd for giving me this idea, and I ran with it, and here we are, and it's just only up from here, and it's amazing. We're celebrating Sentiani style. So, but my next guy that I want to bring on, he's been another day everyone from the chat box. He was battling so many health issues, but I love that he has come on and he's been a main staple of this show. I couldn't think of anybody more deserving, more knowledgeable. And the truth of the matter is you knew that when there was a big game going around town, whether it was high school basketball or football, hell, even UT basketball and football, it was there. And so, why not get him on? And we're going to get him a show too. And we hope that you tune in and give him the love and respect that he deserves. So without further ado, let's bring him on. You know what time it is. Big game, Kerry Reeves. What's up, baby? How you doing?
What's going on, man? 100 shows. Wow.
Can you imagine, bud?
Imagine that. 100 shows, man. You guys, this has been rocking. This has been one of the best things that happened to me, and it's actually helped me recover so well. And just getting a chance to talk sports and talk with you all and talk with the subscribers we have is fantastic, man.
Absolutely, brother. And listen, I couldn't think of anybody more deserving that deserves that. And, I think we all heal each other. We've all been through it, two pair as well. We've all been through it. And the truth of the matter is that that's what this is all about. And, I really have a lot of respect for Diamond Dallas Page for what he's done for some of these wrestlers, and giving them life when their lives were not going anywhere. And I'm not saying that we were in that bad a situation, but I feel that this cause has opened up doors for us to have a purpose and pursue other avenues and maybe even realize the worth that we had. I think that we were all at dead-end jobs that never appreciated us. They didn't deserve our time. And, I know this isn't Stallion Speaks or the platform for it, but realistically, thank you. Thank you, because all of us are now up here. And
That's
you all
right.
can stay down there. So that's where that's the truth of it right there.
And and truth be told, I listened to a few of his sayings while I was recovering. I listened to a lot of sayings, and they really helped, man. I listened to I got positive encouragement from family, friends, and just listening to things like him, like Diamond Dallas Page, just the simple things kept me going, get me up.
And that's what it's all about. I mean, honestly, you know who your people are, whether they can support you financially a little bit or, help you get on your feet or just be a positive thing in your life. That's the most important thing. You don't need no negativity. We don't need black clouds or fake friends or the people that embrace that drama. That's not what this is about. And this show has never been about that. We've always wanted to uplift, whether it was the kids that were playing these sports or just anything. We wanted to make sure that our voice got out there and that everybody understood that their cause and that they mattered more than anything, and that they're capable of anything. Honestly, it just doesn't have to end whether you were some stud in high school or some stud in college. Maybe that avenue closed, but you have other gifts and talents, and you need to take them to the moon. And don't let anybody stop you. Only you are the one person that can stop yourself. So that's my rant and everything. But, guys, thanks again, Larry, for all your encouragement and love and, great things over there at Utah. And I do have an announcement at the end of the show. And so forth, because and I think we're going to talk more about it on Stallion Speaks on Sunday. But that being said, I am going to be a guest on Larry's show, and I kind of put myself in a situation where I may not win a fight, and I'm pretty much undefeated when it comes into the ring. But this Stallion has a pretty big battle coming up on Monday night. Don't want to steal the thunder, but we'll talk about it. We'll promote the hell out of it on Sunday. But I made a comment, and I'm going to have to own it. And basically, there is a woman that is ready to knock me out in 3 seconds in that first round for what I said. So you may want to tune in on Monday night to see if Stallion gets his ass whipped by the great Shy on the Utah show. So on Monday night with Larry Frank and little sister Shy. So you'll have to see the Stallion maybe get his ass whipped on Monday night. And even if you hate me, come watch. So there you go. So simple as that. But that being said, guys, we'll get to this thing right away. Obviously, the college football playoff came out yesterday in between the classic, the Champions Classic is played every year. And obviously, Michigan State whipped Kentucky's ass. Duke beat Kansas, and Kansas was without the Patterson kid. But that being said, in the middle of there was the drama of the college football playoff. And, Kerry, you and me and Shane were talking off screen before the show about, it's really no surprise that now they have put somebody else who's now the mouthpiece. And he looked completely unprepared up there. I mean, he just sounded like a complete buffoon. I mean, Shane, whether you love Miami or you don't, I mean, are we really now just not even going to factor in head-to-head wins or losses or anything like that? And it's just basically, who's got the brand and who's got the money and who's going to get the ratings? I mean, what's going on here, Coach?
Well, it's come down to. I've said this ever since this started because I'm completely against Notre Dame being where they are, always have. And it's who has the money, who's got the biggest market when it comes to sports, and that's just what it drives revenue and money. It doesn't matter where you're ranked and who you've gone up against. It's who's going to bring us the most money.
Yeah.
And the system is flawed, which now we're going to expand it, but then you expand it, it's going to be the same type of thing.
Yep.
Hell, Tulane's coach was like, we don't even deserve to be in there yet.
Yeah. Well, and Larry and me are the probably real Miami fans, and there are real Miami fans that listen. We're accepting our medicine. We should have handled business. It's not so Louisville's whatever at this point, but the SMU game was inexcusable and so forth at this point. But Larry Frank said it best. Let's be honest. Miami's the laughing stock of this situation, and it's because of Cristobal, and that's exactly correct.
Right.
However, what I can't stand and I won't put up with is a buffoon that couldn't have just made that political answer and just basically just said, well, right now, there's still a lot of what the answer should have been was this is right now where it's at. It can still play out. There still could be a lot of things that nothing's set in stone yet.
You still got 2 weeks left. You got this week and next week left of the regular season. You got championship week.
Yeah, you got 3 weeks left.
You do. And realistically, we can talk about it more than anything and so forth. But I think the main thing is, and Larry said this, that Sherman initially said the losses were the key. Reese Davis asked directly about head-to-head matchup. Exactly. And the guy couldn't give an answer. I mean, he looked like an idiot up there. He really did. And it was just like somebody should have prepared you better for talking points or what they were going to ask. And one thing I'll give Reese Davis, whether you like him or not, he always asks those hardball questions. And it's been like that since they've done this thing. I mean, realistically. So, yeah. But dude literally said things have to happen. Therefore, Miami ain't getting in. Yeah. And I'll tell you another thing, though, guys. What was really shocking to me, because on Sunday night, and like I said, when I'm wrong, I'll say it, and I'll say it again on Sunday night on my show. I really felt that the SEC was doing their damnedest to get 6 teams in. But it seemed to me, and forgive me, the SC or the committee basically said, yeah, that shit's not going to fly with us. We're capping you at 5 at this point. And so realistically, just because Oklahoma beat Alabama, I mean, does Oklahoma get left out in the cold provided all these other teams win? And now hear me out on this situation, because let's say Alabama beats A&M in the SEC championship game. Are you really going to discredit a one-loss A&M team at that point? No.
Oh, no, Texas A&M, I think one of the few that have the top 3, I believe, are in the playoff regardless of what happens.
Correct. And then
where 2 of them are going to play. Georgia?
They're 3-4 right now. They're 3-4.
3-4.
And Georgia doesn't even have to go to the SEC championship game. Technically, if Alabama beats Auburn in the Iron Bowl, Georgia can just sit there on their ass and just wait for whoever comes for their to the bowl game.
Because Georgia's conference schedule is done. They have 2 non-conference. They got Georgia Tech, and I forgot who else they got this weekend, but they've got 2 non-conference. They could sit back, rest their starters, beat both of these teams, and just get ready.
Georgia has Charlotte this week.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I mean, and Alabama plays like Southern Illinois or something like that.
Yeah, this is usually that week. These 2 weeks that the SEC gets their last non-conference bid in.
Yes.
There's only 2 games in the top 25 against ranked opponents.
Yes. Yep. Oh, yeah, we'll talk about it. No, it's a trash weekend. It really
what
is
upsets me when I look at these rankings, I like to know how Texas is still the highest 3-loss team when Tennessee's resume is so much better. And they taled about that.
Well,
they talked about how does Texas get above Tennessee when Tennessee's resume is better. Is better. 10 times better. Nothing against Texas. They lost to Ohio State. Yes, they lost to Georgia, but it's that loss to Florida, that one-win Florida team at the time that it happened.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if Tennessee goes down and beats Florida,
They
what does
should
that say
swamp.
about what does that say about Texas?
Well, and you want to know something? Some Miami fans have even mentioned the fact that how can you forget Alabama's loss to Florida State? At the time, we thought that was a great win. Guys, Florida State has to win either on Friday or in the swamp themselves next Friday
Just to be bowl
just to
eligible.
be bowl eligible. And I mean,
Yeah,
what
that's
are we
a
talking
horrible
about
loss.
here? That's awful.
I think that's why they dropped the 9th, because I think that loss is going to stick with them. That was a bad loss.
Hey, Shane, look at what Larry Frank just said. They're hoping for an A&M upset so they can get them in. Talking about Texas. I mean, they'll find a way. I mean, shit. So, yeah. I mean, it sucks because realistically, I would love, and what I'm going to do is this. Let me put this up here because I want this up there. The scroll will still have of where the top 25 is, but this is the headlines going into our week 12. For right now, there were no firings. So I think at this point, people have pretty much either going to stick with what they've got or, see how it all plays out in the end. Virginia Tech just filled out James Franklin. Yeah, correct.
Which I think is a great hire.
It is a great hire. And I think that he'll do good, especially.
He was very emotional in his press conference.
Oh, yeah. And I think that Virginia Tech has got a solid hire with him. He'll recruit. And realistically, I think that he'll start getting some of those guys from that Virginia Beach area that have been not going there to go back to that. And that's where like the Michael Vicks and those type of players came from, that really hotbed of Virginia football over there. But that being said, this is some of the things. Is there even a worthy group of 5 school for a spot in the college football playoff? Now, hear me out on this, because I think in years past, like last year, you couldn't leave an undefeated Boise State out. I mean, you just they had a very exciting player in Ashton Genty. I think about that Central Florida team that, a few years ago, it was a cute little story. They got themselves rings. Then they got into the big bowl game the next year and got their ass handed to them by LSU. But what I'm getting at is that unless you have some stipulation or a situation like that, guys, I don't think you should let in a 3-loss, group of 5 school. I'm sorry. And I don't care how dynamic their offense might be. It might work in that little conference they're in. But when you go up against the SEC, you're going to get your ass whipped. I mean, there's just no doubt about it. The physicality up front is night and day.
Yeah, the size of the players too.
Yeah. So, I mean, and if I'm wrong for saying that, forgive me. And I'm not even looking at that as a Miami fan that we're on the outside looking in. I'm looking at that as I don't want another boring damn first weekend of football, because it sucked that our game was the best game, yet we're getting our asses kicked by Ohio State. I mean, Penn State absolutely run-ruled SMU. Indiana wasn't even anywhere in the conversation with Notre Dame, and Clemson was supposed to be the home team, only to get their asses whipped by Texas. I mean, it wasn't even close, those games, and they were all boring as hell. So what I want is the best damn entertainment, because this is what it all comes down to. And I want the best of the best. I don't give a damn what conference they play in, but if they meet the criteria, and I want sexy matchups that have me on the edge of the seat, I want them as good as what we got in March Madness, when you had the best of the best in that Final Four and you let them settle it out on the court. That's what I want.
I think the game this weekend will help determine these final matchups.
Yeah.
And James Madison or Navy would be the Power of 5 team. Navy would be a heck of a story. Think of all the Navy guys, all the military guys, have somebody to cheer for just for one game. They're gonna get killed, but just to have them in for one game, that'd be huge.
Oh,
go Navy. Go Navy.
Yeah, just for Navy to get in, that'd be big.
I think about that Navy team from a couple of years ago that only had one loss to Notre Dame, like that would have been worthy, you know what I mean, more than anything. So some interesting things in the coaching development, talking about these hirings. Florida showing interest in Tulane's coach Summerall. Okay. Then you got Lane Kiffin's family was flown into Baton Rouge and flown in by LSU.
Weren't they also flown into Gainesville?
Yep.
There was probably that too. And
there was also another coach reportedly flying into Gainesville, Dan Lanning.
Ooh, interesting there.
Very interesting. The Nike connection. Florida is a big Nike team. Nike's team.
Yeah, they are.
Florida's a Jordan brand.
Yep, they're a Jordan brand. So is Oregon. Oregon's the original Jordan brand. Them in
That is
Carolina.
true.
Oregon's the original Nike powerhouse because they got 37
Exactly.
billion different uniform combinations.
The fact that Lanning, from what I heard, took a visit down there. His family took a visit down there too. That's very interesting.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting.
Nike will pop up the money to keep him at Oregon because that's their baby.
Somebody's going to pony up a lot of money, and I'm talking Signetti money, probably past Signetti money.
Well, and I'm going to tell you this though. I mean, as I'm looking at the rankings down below, guys, too, and I mean, obviously, I'm not a fan of that from a standpoint that yes, I understand they're trying to get the coach, but Ole Miss, maybe they won't win it all, but this is probably the farthest they've gotten ever in their history as a school, and of course, they better take care of business at the Egg Bowl. I think Mississippi State's done, to be honest with you. I think they are too. But it's a rivalry game. I mean, you can't deny it. But I will say this much. There was a game that we'll talk about later that was just the most inexcusable, fireable offense of a choke job that I've ever seen. I don't even know what the hell that was, but truth be told, that coach should be ashamed of himself, and that's for a fan base that is in really a bad situation, and I don't feel sorry for them because they screwed us horribly. But how the mighty have fallen in that group. But Larry Frank says my prediction of Orgeron to Arkansas is gaining traction. Reports of mutual interest. He'd do great there. He would do great.
I would see that.
He can recruit Louisiana very well.
He would ran into and Texas. He would take North Texas and Louisiana. He'd tear that up.
He'd take that Northeast Texas area, Texarkana. He'd take Arkansas. He'd get some ties in Louisiana. He could even jump into Memphis and get some of them studs over there.
Get
some speed athletes from over there and so forth.
Yeah, because his time at LSU and Ole Miss will help him out with that whole area.
Yeah. Yeah, and so if LSU has said if Lane doesn't take the job, they're going for Drinkwitz or Summerall. So they're either going to go Tulane or Drinkwitz is the Missouri coach, right?
I could see Drinkwitz. I could easily see Drinkwitz.
Yeah. No, he'd own Louisiana for sure. So
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, and that's the thing though. Like right now, you're going to have. You obviously have that number one recruiting class, and I haven't seen many decommit. I know that there was one LSU kid that did decommit and went to Miami instead and so forth, and that had kind of been gaining traction even before the Brian Kelly firing, from what I understand. But at the same time, what's Lamar Brown going to do? Because he is the number one player consensus in America, and depending on who the hire is, he might still stick with the commitment. There could be that too, and everything, and give the coach, whoever they hire, an opportunity to try to re-recruit that class before it goes. But the thing is, they haven't put pen to paper yet, Coach. So that's the other thing. They're still free agents till what, December 15th or whatever that Wednesday is in the middle of the month.
December 15th, I believe.
Yeah. So, but Shane, what are your thoughts? I mean, like right now, you're looking at this, and obviously. Miami's the highest ranked ACC team, but they have a lot of stuff that needs to happen. Not only do they have to win out, they have to have certain teams beat each other just to even get that ACC championship. But, how would a Georgia Tech fare against an Ole Miss in the first round, or a Texas Tech for that matter, or something of that nature? I mean, if they're the ACC representatives. So
I think the ACC is just weak as a conference right now.
Mm-hmm.
And you're not going to get quality football. So anybody that goes in there, hate to say it, but you're going to get your ass handed to you because you're matching up with the SEC school that's rolling on all cylinders, and that's how the SEC is.
Yep.
When we hit this time of year, it's rolling on all cylinders. You've got where you need to be. Any ACC team that lands in the playoffs is going to get steamrolled.
Yep. The ACC stands for all.
The only thing you can hope for as an ACC school is somehow you jump up in the rankings, which ain't going to happen because you got Tulane sitting at the 12th spot. That'd be your only favorable matchup right now.
Yep.
Okay, yeah, no, so Miami isn't in there. Reese said they were a placeholder until the ACC champ is crowned. They really aren't in unless chaos unfolds. Yeah, I mean they're on the outside looking in again. I mean they are, and they have no one to blame but themselves for that. You know, I mean I'll look at Utah. I mean Utah's 2 losses are potentially to BYU. Well, it was to BYU and to Texas Tech, and there's a scenario where BYU could beat Texas Tech in the Big 12 championship, and they both get in. I mean, they would have to at that point.
And then the
So
ACC could count Notre Dame.
they could.
They could count Notre Dame as their entry.
Yeah, I mean they did it 5 years ago.
Yes,
Stupidly,
they did.
I mean
During COVID, they did.
and I still don't know why they did that. I mean, you're going to reward a team that only has their team in their other sports, but they won't give you the big diamond in the rough, which is
of
football.
course they won't
Come
give
on.
you football. They'll
You're
never
gonna-
give
you're
football.
going to get what, Georgia Tech or Virginia in there that's going to knock Miami out of there. As the
Yep.
ACC.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, because that's how it would
my
go.
money would go Georgia Tech.
Yeah,
Yeah. Football, but
Mhm.
they're matching up against. As of right now, it'd be if they take the 11th spot, they get Ole Miss. Lane freaking steamrolls them.
oh yeah. Well, and I'm going to tell you this. I think Georgia is going to beat the absolute shit out of them next week just because of how close that game was last. I mean, Kerry, you and me watched them against Boston College. They're lucky they even won
lucky.
that game.
Yeah, they're lucky they even won that game.
Yeah. And
They're lucky they won the Wake Forest game too. Wake Forest missed an extra point in regulation. That's how that game ended up in overtime.
Oh, yeah. I mean, look at this, guys. I mean, this is the same Georgia Tech team that got beat by NC State. NC State looked absolutely atrocious against Miami. And, guys, congratulations for you guys. You guys called it. I was wrong, and I'll admit I picked against Miami. But it was just such a game that I've seen Miami lose in the past.
Exactly.
And I was shocked to see how good Miami came out. And I was like, guys, if you would have done that against Louisville and SMU, you're one of the top 4 teams hosting right now at this point. I mean,
Is Pitt still alive in this deal?
No, well, there has to have a lot. So this is what they have to do.
They have to have
They have to beat Georgia Tech, and they have to beat Miami. And then what happens is they would be the ones playing Virginia for the championship.
Oh, wow.
So that's what has to happen. That's why idiot Narduzzi went on last week and said, "Oh, they can beat us 100-0," and they almost did beat you 100-0.
Yeah, they caught off the dogs in the second quarter.
But what sucks is
your
that
odds
Pitt lost their starting running back for the year in that game. So go ahead, Shane. What were you going to say?
Your odds for your ACC championship right now are Georgia Tech as best odds, followed by Virginia, SMU, Miami, Pitt.
Yeah.
So a lot of things got to fall in place for Miami to jump from fourth best to in there.
You know what gets me, guys, and again, I'm not trying to make excuses. The ACC schedule was so unbalanced this year. I mean, look at the SEC, how well run that is. For example, you've had some of these teams already play each other. Obviously we've not gotten to see A&M and Alabama yet. But there's that possibility it's going to happen in the SEC title game, provided that Alabama takes care of business in the Iron Bowl. But let me just bring a scenario up to you guys. Is there a possibility that we could get 2 years in a row that Auburn beats Alabama and Alabama gets left out of the playoff along with Miami? Because remember, they were the 2 teams that were left out last year, both of them. Alabama with the 3 losses and Miami with the 2 losses. Yeah.
And it was an even worse Oklahoma team that beat Alabama last year.
Cool.
And they were 6-6.
Yeah.
That's possible.
Yeah.
That's possible.
Yeah, no, Miami's not getting in, and I've already made my peace with it. And like I said, I mean, they have no one to blame for themselves and for this. And again, I mean, at this point, I saw a projection that CFN actually already has Miami projected out, and they're projecting them to play Illinois in the what was the old Outback Bowl in Raymond James Stadium.
Yeah, it's called the ReliaQuest now.
ReliaQuest, yeah. So,
they play next Saturday night at that haunted place in Auburn. They say Auburn's haunted when it comes to Alabama and Georgia, so who knows?
They shouldn't have killed those trees.
Yeah, they shouldn't have. Yeah, the Alabama fan. Yeah, I still remember that story.
Bastard.
Poison the trees.
Can you imagine? I mean, like, are we really serious? That's like an A&M fan throwing like rat poison at Bevo or whatever. Like, you know what I mean? Like, seriously.
They thrown some stuff at Bevo. I don't think rat poison is one, but they have thrown some stuff.
God, man, like
they
hate each other.
Radiator fluid soaked meat.
Yep.
Oh, jeez. I
They
mean,
hate each other worse. That's the only rivalry I can think of that hates each other worse than Auburn and Alabama is Texas and Texas A&M.
yeah. And you remember that bonfire when the thing crashed and killed all those
Yep.
students, and then they didn't do that for a while. And it's
Yeah.
like, I think back to our
Mhm.
beer barrel story that we talked about with Tennessee and Kentucky. It's like, you got to get. I mean, look, it was a tragedy, but you're not
Yep.
going to stop doing it. You know, I
Exactly.
mean, it's just you got to use caution with these things and
Well,
don't take the fun
they
away.
need to bring that back. Call it the bourbon barrel.
They
And
do need to-
Hypo still got it. Hypo still got it. And Tennessee still has it in their locker room.
Yep, and that's where it's at. So
Yeah,
We pulled it back out during the
during the week. Yeah,
they pulled it. Well, they pulled it out of storage during the Pruitt era.
Mhm.
So it was
Yeah.
I can't remember that one dude that was what was the tight end coach or linebacker coach.
Yeah, I forgot who that was, but yeah,
I can't remember what his name was. He was part of the whole show calls and
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. So
I can't
yeah.
remember that dude's name. Was it
Larry,
Nehemiah?
you ain't lying. You ain't lying. Florida State would be laughing their ass off. Well, I'm going to laugh my ass off at them if they can't beat NC State and Florida and don't even go to a bowl game with all the hype and everything they play. They paid Tommy Castellanos and all that. I mean, it's bad. I mean, it's a bad brand of football. It's it's horribly run. They need to stick to basketball and that's and baseball because that just seems what they're the only damn good thing they're at. The ACC I'm talking about. On the flip side of the Big Ten, guys, I mean, like, how do you think the Ohio State or the Indiana this year matches up against the SEC teams? Now, granted, Ohio State did have to beat Tennessee as well as Texas last year to en route to the national championship. But, you know, looking at the standings right now, them being the 1 seed, who would they be matched up with? Just curious, because obviously they get like almost like a double bye, it seems like, but they would probably be in the Rose Bowl taking on whomever and so forth again. This time being kind of the home team. But what are we thinking there? Are they matched up with the Alabama, Oklahoma, whoever's 8-9, or is it Notre Dame?
Yeah, I'm thinking it's 8-9, 8-9. They get the 8-9 game like Ohio State did last year. I'll tell you what. Everybody talks about Ohio State's offense. Their defense, man. Oh, they've got studs on that defense that could be. There's one guy. I forgot what his name. He could be the second or third overall pick in the NFL draft. Matt Patricia, what he did, he brought the Patriots defense, all that defense where they won all those Super Bowls. He is teaching it to these college kids. That's how scary this is. And he's finding out he's got a lot of smart kids on that defense. They're playing the Belichick Patricia defense that won them those Super Bowls, that got to those Super Bowls. That's scary.
Oh yeah,
that is absolutely scary.
They have won a different way this year because they had to outscore teams last year. You know, that's what it basically boiled down to. And they always had the recruits, and it's definitely the personnel, and they're going to be a tough out. They are. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, this year, they're the favorite. So yeah,
this year they feel like 24 points. That's enough. They figure they could get to 24 or 28. They could shut you down after that bit. And they have.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I watched what they did to UCLA, and they didn't even look like they broke a sweat against UCLA. And speaking of which, I've never seen anybody in concussion protocol that doesn't get announced until Thursday.
Oh, yeah.
How does Nico be in concussion protocol and nobody knows about it till Thursday? He just didn't want to play going back to Columbus because everybody was ready for him.
Oh, yeah.
They were ready for him. The students, the Ohio State students, they were ready for him.
And then they still got their asses handed to them. So
and it wasn't even funny. It looked like they didn't even break a sweat.
They really didn't. So, Shane, let me ask you this. Talking about that A&M South Carolina game, South Carolina choked worse than than any analogy you want to use. But realistically, they blow that game. They also had Alabama on the ropes. Kerry, you even called that game and so forth. I mean, to be a South Carolina fan right now, you might as well just put a heart in your throat, or the knife in your throat, honestly, because I mean, seriously, you had arguably two of the best SEC teams on the ropes. You could have beaten them both, should have beaten them both, one at home, one on the road. And that's inexcusable. That is absolutely inexcusable of what the hell happened there, that collapse. I've never seen anything like it.
Yeah.
You give up 28 unanswered after halftime when you're up 30-3.
And they look like they did it so easily. It's just like they turned on a switch, and the next thing you know, it's 31-30.
Yeah, I was going back to my computer and the TV, and I was like, "Are you?" First, I was like, "Oh my god, like, are you seeing this?" And then next thing I was like, "Oh shit!"
When they got the 30,
because we were all talking about it. We were
Yeah.
all messaging it. And do you want to know something? I didn't even tell you guys this, but one of my best friends, he was really invested in that game. He turned the Notre Dame shit off. He right away went to the A&M South Carolina game, like I think a lot of us did. And so anyway, because realistically, Kerry, I didn't even put that game up last week. I thought it was a foregone conclusion that A&M would run them over, guys.
So did everybody else. I thought so too.
Exactly. And so my point of it is that the game is starting to be played. And A&M looks awful. I've never seen a Mike Elko coach team. Forget A&M. Look as bad as they did.
Yeah.
The crowd was even like I'm surprised the crowd stuck around, guys, because I don't want to be this way.
It was dead.
But Neyland Stadium would have left at halftime. I mean, we've been there before. We have been there before. We're like, we had a game and maybe Florida, and Tebow was really good. And I remember people leaving at halftime.
I remember,
I'm like, where are you guys going?
I remember the Georgia game 2017, Butch Jones last year. That was the end of Butch Jones.
That was, yeah.
When it was 34,
that was the year I did not renew my season tickets because I saw the writing on the wall. The season before.
I just remember the news interviewing people leaving the game early or whatever like that. And props to the news people for like, hey, people are leaving early. See if you can grab somebody. And they grab people and they're like, it just hurts us to watch them lose. And look where you're at now, I mean, and people, this is still not good enough. I mean, we had a trash can on the sidelines that said 141, team 141 on the side of it. I mean, 121. But oh my God, like, are we serious? So. But I don't know. But South Carolina losing.
Poor Butch is not in consideration for any of these open jobs.
Thank God.
Because
he actually talked to Arkansas.
He would look good in Gator blue.
That'd be a dream come true.
Penn State, maybe you should hire him brick by brick. He'll build it up for you.
I need him in the SEC to secure a win.
No, I'm hearing that Clark Lee is getting a lot of traction up at Penn State.
Really?
That would make sense.
Mm-hmm.
And I need Vanderbilt to get knocked back down a few notches.
Because I don't think Vanderbilt's going to be able to afford what Penn State can afford. Because now they saved $40 million from Franklin taking a job at Virginia Tech. They saved $40 million.
Now they can really go after him.
Exactly.
That's also the true side of a guy who's in it for coaching.
Yep.
He could sat back. I know we talked about how he did at Penn State.
Yeah, but he could have sat back and collected his money.
That truly shows that he cares about coaching and the profession that it is.
He's not like Jimbo Fisher. You ain't heard from you ain't heard from Jimbo after he took his $76 million. You ain't never heard a peep out of him.
No, he's smiling at the ACC network, giving you great thoughts, and he's not even doing SEC games. He's doing ACC games and talking about his days when he coached Florida State. I got one for you guys that I'm surprised nobody's even brought up yet. Is the fact that here's the problem with Franklin, okay? At least Franklin won't have to worry about Ohio State and Michigan in the ACC, and Clemson's not even anything at this point. So Miami's Miami, and realistically, I don't even know how that's going to go because they don't play every year. So you really just have to get to the ACC championship game, and Franklin's MO was always winning the small games. It was the big games that he had problems with, and realistically, unless Virginia Tech schedules a big name out of game opponent out of conference, they're right there for the taking that they could be back.
He could have them in the playoffs in 2 years.
Easily. And with the transfer portal, I mean, Larry Frank brought this up. Any fan is delusional. Or a fan base is delusional that believes that it takes now 3 or 4 years in this modern day of college football to build it. No, if you can evaluate talent, you can get some good recruits that are ready to play and some other recruits that are maybe just a year or two behind, and you can develop them with a good staff and then get some transfers to fill the holes. I'm telling you guys. I mean, you can do it very quickly, and especially
Indiana
now.
is a prime example.
Prime example. I mean, exactly. What about Vanderbilt? I hate to admit it, guys.
Vanderbilt,
Look what
yep.
Clark Lee has done in 3 years there. I mean,
Yep.
I still remember a couple of years ago, I used to call it the Joe Milton game, and it was because poor Herndon had gotten hurt the week before, and we go to Vanderbilt, not much to play for. You know, we're out of the 4 or whatever it was at the time, and realistically, Milton comes in there. It's a slot fest in Nashville. It's the most miserable game I've ever been to. Milton's tearing them apart, and we're all feeling pretty good that, hey, he'll be a good quarterback for us next year. And, you know, we all know how that went. But I'm getting at the point is look how far that Vanderbilt team has gone. And they have an opportunity if they take care of business against Kentucky on Senior Day this week. And then next week, I mean, guys, I don't even want to think about if Vanderbilt can beat Tennessee on Sunday.
I'm actually scared about next week.
You should be. Everyone should be.
They got a shot. But
I mean,
I think the good thing is it's a Saturday night. I think Saturday night it works out for us.
Yeah, actually, it's a 3:30 ABC game. Iron Bowl got the night game. Iron Bowl got the night game.
Yeah,
I was
that's right.
shocked.
I was shocked. I thought we'd get the 7:30 game.
I thought we would
had
too.
it.
Yeah, I mean, because realistically, the traditional thing has been that the Iron Bowl's always been kind of played at the afternoon, that 3:30 spot, you know, and I don't know. I mean, I guess they just wanted the implication of the Iron Bowl, and again, ESPN drives it, but at the same time, that's a stellar lineup. Those 2 days, that Friday and Saturday on ABC.
Right now, we don't know. Right now, we don't know if we're going to be on ABC or ESPN. They're still trying to decide that point, but we're going to be on one of those 2 stations.
We have to be on ABC.
I think it's going to be ABC.
I mean, especially if Tennessee can take care of business this week, which I believe they will. But hey, if not now, when? Am I wrong by saying that, guys? Shane, back me up on this. If not now,
if it doesn't happen this time,
we got to wait 2 years. I don't want to wait 2 years. I don't want to wait 2 years. I want to get it done now.
I don't think the powers that be allow 2 more years.
You know what scares me is how they rolled over for Kentucky. I mean, just absolutely rolled over. Guys, they were in it till the end against Ole Miss. They gave Ole Miss everything they had. And I'm thinking to myself, what team is going to show up next week against Tennessee? The Kentucky version or the one that gave Georgia and Ole Miss everything they wanted and then some?
I think I can explain the Ole Miss one. They were trying to impress Lane.
Okay.
Because remember at the end of that game, the Ole Miss fans, all of them were chanting, "We want Lane." And that was in direct to the Florida section at the beginning of the game, chanting, "We want Lane."
Yeah.
I think that was what Florida showed up for, was to impress Kiffin.
You know, the biggest guy with the biggest ego, like he needed that. I mean, he might as well have just been stroked the whole. I mean, oh my! I mean, but listen, he's a great coach. I mean, look,
he's a great coach.
I mean, he is, and unfortunately, I think I wish that he had never gone to Tennessee in the first place, because maybe he considers that job like when he went to Ole Miss instead of going to Ole Miss. Maybe he takes the Tennessee job. Yeah, so.
Yep. I think he either takes the Florida job or he stays at Ole Miss, and Ole Miss offers him a buku boatload just to keep him there.
It's possible. It's very well possible.
Or the NFL could be calling. There is a job in New York that I could see him in. His old former quarterback, Jackson Dart, is the quarterback of the Giants. I could see him going up there, reuniting with him.
You give him Dart and Scattaboo?
Yep. You give him Dart and Scattaboo.
And then with that defense, with Thibodeau and you got some good
Jalen Hyatt could actually break out finally.
And you get Malik Neighbors back. You got a top 5 draft pick. You could get another receiver, get another offensive lineman.
And we'll talk about that, because they're now right on the Titans' heels for the number 2 spot. They've actually jumped the Saints for the 2 spot when we do that tanking segment. So the games, I'm putting, you're talking about the matchups, and we're going to do predictions here in a few minutes or what have you. But the week 13 big matchups, I mean, listen to this. Missouri, who I heard their quarterback's going to be back for this game. I still don't know how that's possible, but he is at Oklahoma. So that could be interesting. Virginia Tech, those tickets are $7, by the way. to go to the Miami Virginia Tech game. Louisville and
Really?
SMU, yes. I was thinking about going, but Larry Frank talked me out of it. Kentucky at Vanderbilt's at 3:30 on ESPN. Hey, congratulations, CBS! You got the big game this week with USC and Oregon. Way to go! Way to go! Not the Big Ten Network.
Hey, I turned over to that game, Penn State, Michigan State. I couldn't stop laughing. It was 14-10 in the fourth quarter. I'm sitting there going, "You gave up the SEC for this?
Kerry,
you gave it up for this?"
A conversation with a block of cheese would have been more fun than watching that Michigan State Penn State game on CBS. I'm telling you, man.
And the Iowa USC game was fantastic.
It was, and USC almost blew an opportunity there. Let me tell you this: Iowa almost proved me wrong because I thought that Iowa had what Iowa was going to come out after losing the heartbreaker the week before with Oregon.
Iowa
they
choked
played
it away.
tough.
Yeah,
they
choked it away.
2 weeks. And then so here's what you're talking about: if Iowa wins those two games, theoretically, Iowa is in the Oregon spot right now at number 7 or 8. That's crazy to me, man.
Yep. And this is USC's opportunity. USC beats Oregon. They replace Oregon as the third Big Ten team.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
This is Oregon's last little.
They would love to have USC go to the Rose Bowl. Like they would love to have that happen.
Get that California market, man.
Yep. Yep. In fact, one would argue they'd rather have the USC California market, Los Angeles, than Oregon.
Oh, yeah, easily.
Yep, without a doubt. Because think about it. You got Chicago with Notre Dame.
Yep.
You know, the traditional powers are always going to bring their fans. But then you get the Los Angeles market with USC. Whoa. Yeah. You know, you get the Texas area with A&M and everything like that. You got Dallas down there. So, yeah, I mean.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You're going to
get a lot of Oklahoma fans in Dallas, too.
Yep.
So, yeah, I mean, but I'm just saying that they know what they're doing. And like Shane said, Georgia Tech might be a shitty matchup. You get Hotlanta involved.
You get Atlanta involved. Oh, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I mean,
you get them hotbeds involved, man.
Big time markets.
Money.
That are going to be tuning in.
Money.
You'll have Indianapolis because of Indiana, obviously. So, yeah. I mean,
big time money
at that point. So, but like I said, I mean, is there a matchup there, guys, that you think might be an upset? Or, you know, obviously we've got rooting interest for the teams we like, but I mean, I'm looking at that BYU Cincinnati game at 8:00 on Fox. Cincinnati was actually undefeated at home until they blew it against Arizona last week. I don't know what the hell happened there, but I mean, that's prime that BYU better not overlook.
Yeah, they can't overlook Cincinnati.
Because BYU could definitely, if they lose that one, they would really be in a world of hurt. Because I don't know how that works. I know they have the head-to-head to Utah, but with BYU losing to Cincinnati, I don't even know who BYU plays the last game of the year again in the Big 12. That could knock them out, and Utah get that spot. You know, as the Big 12.
BYU has UCF the following week.
They'll kill them. They'll beat their ass. They'll beat their ass. So
that Louisville SMU game intrigues me.
Yes,
because it could have a resounding effect on who plays in the ACC championship game.
It does. It does, actually. Do you want to hear something really interesting? There's a scenario where Miami needs to create a 4-way tie. This is how impossible it is for Miami. And again, they have no one to blame but themselves, but also this stupid unbalanced schedule. So supposedly what Miami would need to happen is Virginia beat Virginia Tech. Miami win out. Louisville has to beat SMU has to SMU has to beat Louisville, but then has to lose to at Cal next week at the end of the season. And it creates a 4-way tie between those 4 schools. And Miami gets in that way or something like that. I was reading something of that nature. That scenario has to happen. And it's so and then Duke, to also add to the mix, has to beat North Carolina this week, but lose to Wake Forest the following week. And I'm just like, this is too confusing. Like, this is like, why can you just like, why did they make it so like, it's like the percentage amongst all the teams? why don't you just go back to the old, okay, if you didn't meet head-to-head, who's got the best record, who's the higher-ranked team? That's how I would settle it at that
Exactly.
point. But whatever. I mean, it's the ACC, guys. I mean, I still think back to last year that it was almost hilarious to think that had Duke lost to North Carolina in that last game of the season, where North Carolina was fighting for their lives to get in. If Duke had lost that game, despite how good of a season Duke had, even with the head-to-head win over Louisville, it would have been Louisville with the number 1 seed and Duke with the 3 seed. That's the ACC, man. I don't know what their tiebreakers are, but I'd be very interested in what the SEC has in that, if they had a similar situation where a team goes and loses just 2 games, but somehow beats a team head-to-head and is left out or gets a lower seed in a tournament.
ACC, always continuous crap.
Crap.
That's what the ACC stands
always
for.
Continuous crap. So, well, let's pick these games, guys. Let's pick these games then, and so forth. I guess I wanted to ask you guys. So let's start it off. We'll go with that Missouri at Oklahoma game. Chat box, if you want to chime in and make your picks, I mean, let's do it and so forth, because I really want to see what we do here more than anything. But that being said, we got that Missouri at Oklahoma game. I mean, is this a letdown for Oklahoma being at noon at home after their big win and how they've looked? I mean, or is this just going to be business as usual for that Oklahoma defense that really played lights out last week against Alabama? Color me shocked. So what do you guys think about this one? Chat box, you can chime in as well.
Give me Oklahoma easily.
Yeah. I think Oklahoma's defense is just too good. I love the fact that this matchup is 7. This is an old Big 8 matchup. Back to the days when it was the Big 8, then the Big 12, and now SEC. This is so much fun. And I got to give Oklahoma some credit because when Texas and Oklahoma both came, a lot of people thought, okay, maybe Oklahoma was the wrong partner for Texas to join. Oklahoma, in reality, has outshined Texas in 2 years. They've outshined Texas in football. Even though Texas got a playoff spot, I believe Oklahoma will get a playoff spot this year and outshine them because they've really outshone them.
Well, and some could argue they've also brought it in the men's basketball compared to Texas, and the softball for women, obviously, as well.
Oh, yeah, for softball.
So, yeah. So Shane likes Oklahoma easily. What about you, Kerry? What do you got in this one?
I got Oklahoma in this one. I like their I love their defense.
Yeah.
I thought their defense was just spectacular last week.
You know, it's crazy. A lot of people were talking about Venables being on the hot seat. You got to give the man. You got to give the man some props. He seriously has taken that program and really elevated it. And they'd be foolish to get rid of him. Honestly,
I agree.
They'd be foolish. They'd be very, very foolish.
Especially when the way they beat Alabama was the same way they beat Tennessee. Tennessee outgained them 2-1. Did everything. Won every statistical category. Except the turnovers.
Except the turnovers. Yeah.
And that was the difference. Just like at Tennessee, they beat Tennessee and they came through that 4-game stretch with an Ole Miss loss that was less than a touchdown. But they won the other 3. They came through that 4-game stretch 3-1.
Yeah.
Credit to Venables and that staff.
I mean, Shane, should I be pissed about that? Like, honestly, because if you think about it, like, that could have been easily Tennessee right now, you know? Like, I mean, and I know it's not or whatever.
Easily.
But damn, like, I mean, because those 3 teams played each other, and basically Oklahoma was the team that had the disadvantage. They had to go on the road for both those games this year.
Yep.
But they took care of the business, and they're firm. I mean, look, they're going to take on a weak-ass LSU team next week, and then you know,
they'll kill them.
Some would argue that this Missouri game is probably the better. If they're going to lose, it'd be this because of Drinkowitz or what have you. I hate his ass, but he can coach, and he could maybe come up with a game plan. But I think that Batir and Oklahoma's defense is too much. I got Oklahoma winning.
Yeah, Drinkowitz can come up with some stuff. I mean, he proved that after Tennessee hung 60 on him 1 year. He came back and hung 50 on us.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes, he can.
Yeah.
So I mean, if it all depends on which version of him you get, and if he goes out there with something to prove, he can cause an upset real quick.
They could run the ball like they did against Mississippi State last week. They got a shot.
Yeah.
Because they ran that. Jeez, guy had 300 yards rushing. by
Something like that.
himself.
Am I wrong for forgetting a game? Wasn't it a couple years ago? And maybe Milton was our quarterback. I don't think it was Nico. Correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't we have like a pretty decent season going? And we went to Missouri, and they absolutely handed
That was
our
Milton.
ass.
That was
Oh,
Milton.
oh my
That was
God.
Milton. Nico
The
never
year-
got to play
The year
Missouri.
before is when we had
Hooker.
and we torched them.
So
for
then they
60.
paid us back the next year. I mean, that was
Yeah.
a miserable game that I could
That was a
forget.
revenge game. Like I
Oh
never
my
seen in
God.
my
And I
life.
think it was like either on ESPN or ESPN2.
CBS. It was on CBS.
Was it on CBS?
It was a
really?
CBS game.
Oh my God, I couldn't even remember the channel, but it was miserable. And I remember the blow by that Heupel and him had words at the midfield at the end of the game or something. Oh my God. But yeah. But anyway, I was just thinking about it, but that was at Missouri. This is at Oklahoma. But I would almost give a Missouri a chance had this game been at Missouri. I mean, I'm just saying, I don't know. But what I was going to ask you guys, I'm putting the Miami Virginia Tech game up there as one to pick because obviously it's almost one of those games that does Miami cover the spread, because right now it's 18.5. Last I checked, that Miami's a favorite, 18.5 on the road. And remember, this game came down to that final pass last year. Obviously, Miami's defense is a lot better. Miami offense maybe found a groove. I don't know. With Beck, you never know. Virginia Tech looks like they've mailed it in, but do you think Miami covers? And if the committee still even wants to try to get Miami in, what would be the score Miami would have to win by to maybe even move the needle by any means at this point? What do you guys think?
By 20.
At least win by 20?
I'd say 40-10 would cover that.
Yeah. Yeah. I was thinking you'd have to win.
You got to come in there and just stomp their ass immediately.
Yeah, from the word go.
Do you know that they had a player quit before the Florida State game? I mean, just walked off the fucking field, dude. Like, I mean, what is that?
That seems to be running pretty common right now.
I think about that basketball player. I think about that basketball player for Tennessee last year that left about this time. And I'm like, and he could have been a part of a really special team.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
That asshole.
Was it Carr?
So, yeah.
Yeah.
That guy. I mean, so.
Yeah, Cameron Carr. I still wonder what he was thinking.
Yeah. Larry Frank says they'll cover, but they need to win by 28. Yeah, I was thinking 30, like 40-10. That's a good score.
Yeah,
40-10.
I think that's a really good score. Yeah. So especially if you can win like how they did against NC State, if you allow a cheap touchdown at the end, because I really believe these committee people are not just looking at the score, they're watching the game, and you can kind of tell, like who is dominant and who's not. So I would have been curious though if South Carolina had won, where A&M would have fallen. I really am kind of curious what would have happened.
I don't think they would have fell out of the top 10.
I don't think so either. There's
I
no
think
way.
they stayed within top 5. Yes, top 10. No, they'd stayed in the top 10.
Yeah, they just would have there would have been more pressure on them to win that Texas game, and then because then they would have needed the SEC championship appearance at that point. So
now if they win the Texas game, in reality, the SEC championship game won't matter.
Yeah. Yeah, well, it's true.
Except for kicks and giggles, because it'll be their first time in it.
That's true. That's absolutely true. Well, and Kerry, you were intrigued by that Louisville SMU game, and I have that one up because technically this will determine. I mean, SMU's got an outside shot to get back again because here's the thing: if SMU takes care of business at home, it's senior day against Louisville, and then goes on the road to Cal, which Cal's been a streaky team. I don't get them. They've gone and beaten Louisville, but then they turn around and then they lose to a North Carolina or someone like that. You know what I mean? It's just it's weird how Cal has been. So you don't know what you're going to get with Jeff Tedford. But my point is we got to talk about SMU because they could theoretically be the ACC representative if they take care of business right now and so forth. So.
And the game's in Dallas, and I think they'll beat Louisville.
Yeah,
I think they'll win.
I think I've honestly got SMU winning just because I think Louisville mailed it in last week. I mean, when they lost, I can't believe they still lost to Clemson, man. That was
embarrassing.
That was a terrible loss. And you know what? It was almost like neither team wanted to win. There was so much suckage going on in that last 5 minutes. I mean, so yep. That's why them dumbass Miami fans are crying. They're ignoring reality. You're right. You're right. I mean, they have no one to blame but themselves. I'm sorry. So, I mean, instead of banning players, instead of banning players that gave their right leg for you, you should have been worried about game planning against Jeff Brom and Rhett Lashley. So I mean, just terrible, just awful. So I hope Shane jumps back in here because I'd love to get his prediction. I'm like you, Kerry. I think SMU wins. I think Louisville's done. And, at this point, that's 2 disappointing years in a row for Louisville, especially with how much promise they said that they had with their offense. They said that they had fixed the defense. And sure, you got that win against Miami, but truth be told, who gives a shit when you're still not beating Clemson and you're losing inexplicably to Virginia and Cal?
Exactly.
I mean, that doesn't do anything for you. And then this could be another game that you lose. So what's the point?
Yep.
You won the big one, but you're not taking care of the smaller ones. Same could be said about Miami.
Yep, you didn't follow up the big one with the small ones.
Yep. This Kentucky at Vanderbilt game intrigues me, Kerry. Chat box, obviously, you can make your predictions too, as I've mentioned. This Kentucky at Vanderbilt game intrigues me. Shane, I'm sorry, Louisville at SMU, bud. Who do you got in that one?
Ooh. Give me SMU.
Yeah, we went with SMU too because SMU controls its own destiny. If they take care of business at home on Senior Day and then go to Cal, they could technically beat Virginia and get into the college football playoff as that ACC representative, technically.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. But this next game intrigues me. Kentucky at Vanderbilt. Obviously, we have an interest in it because, obviously we've already beaten Kentucky. Vanderbilt's next week. Vanderbilt, no one's really talking about them getting into the playoff. However, if they beat Tennessee and beat Kentucky at 10-2 with close losses to both Alabama and Texas, I hate to say it. I mean, maybe they deserve some consideration there. I mean, I don't know. I don't want to admit that, but maybe we're not even talking about it if Tennessee takes care of business. Who knows? Maybe Kentucky saves Mark Stoops' job and they go in there and win. But honestly, with Pavia Senior Day, I think Vanderbilt rolls, and I think Stoops is going to get fired on Sunday. That's what I believe. So, what do you guys think?
This series has been interesting because usually in this series, the road team has usually won this series.
Correct. Facts.
Vanderbilt cannot afford to look ahead because Kentucky can score points.
Yeah, they can.
They've scored a lot of points the last 4 weeks.
Yeah.
They can score points. And Vanderbilt, I know it's Senior Day with Pavia, and it's going to be hype. It's going to be everything. But they cannot look at – I never thought I'd say this about Vanderbilt. They can't look ahead to Tennessee. They got to take care of this game.
You're right.
Because in reality, if they don't win this game, next week only matters for state bragging rights. And I don't know what their confidence will be. They lose this game.
I wonder how big, and Shane, I'd like your thoughts on it too. More than anything, I wonder, if for example, say win or lose this game at Vanderbilt. Are we talking that the Vanderbilt Tennessee game next week could determine who's possibly in the Citrus Bowl or in the Gator Bowl at this point?
Possibly.
As a representative? Where did we go last year? We were in the playoffs, so we didn't have to worry about that.
2 years ago, we were at the Citrus Bowl.
Okay, so there's a possibility the Gator Bowl would take us this time.
Yeah, because Milton was out there throwing oranges halfway across the damn field.
Or Tampa.
Oh, God, and Iowa.
Or Tampa.
Iowa fucking sucked so bad in that game, too. They were horrible. Oh, my God. Yeah.
Yep.
That's right.
Or Tampa could take us. The Reliance Bowl could take us, too. Or Vegas. Vegas is one of our bowls this year.
That's interesting. So
yes, it is. Vegas is one of our bowls this year. So they're rotating between the SEC, the Big 12, and what will be the new Pac-12, Pac-10 next year. So that this year it's SEC versus versus Big 12 in Vegas. Tennessee could be a candidate for Vegas. They would love to get Tennessee out in Vegas.
As long as they don't put us in cold ass Charlotte in the Belk Bowl, I'm good. To be honest with you, I mean, damn, that's miserable right there.
Well, yeah, the Florida Bowl. What Jason Swain said this, and I saw this last week. He goes, "You want to be in shorts in January in Florida, or do you want to be in the cold somewhere like Charlotte or Nashville?"
Oh my God. Or how about the Motor City Bowl in the Detroit Ford Field or whatever like that? I mean, not that the SEC has a tie, but that's a game. I mean, that's a damn game right there, guys.
Yep.
So, yeah. But anyway, Yeah, but anyway, Kerry, so do you got Vanderbilt or do you got Kentucky? Who are you
I
wanting
think
in that one?
I've got Vanderbilt, but it's going to be closer than the experts say.
God.
Because I think the fact that Kentucky will be those players will be fighting for Stoops.
Yeah. Well, and you know what, though, guys? Can I say this? Realistically, what the hell do they think that they're going to get there? Honestly, I mean, Stoops has been the
Exactly.
best thing to happen to them in a long time. If I'm not a Kentucky fan by any means, but I respected Mark Stoops because obviously, he coached with his brothers.
Mhm.
He was the Miami DB's coach for a couple of years there when Sean Taylor and all them were there and so forth. So he can coach. And I think he's had some pretty decent seasons for Kentucky. And
I agree.
I don't know. I think some of these teams are really starting to think more highly of themselves than what they really are. So yeah. What's up, Rocky? Thanks for tuning in. So
And
for our show 100.
And Kentucky's also playing. They win one out of the next two. They either beat Vandy or they beat Louisville. They go to a bowl game after everything that's happened.
They got a lot to play for.
They got a lot to play for.
They do. So
The game got me torn. Hey, I don't want to pull for little brother.
I'm not pulling for either one personally.
Yeah, I'm hoping for an earthquake to open up in Nashville and only at Vanderbilt Stadium.
I'm going to be honest with you. I think it'll be an entertaining game.
I think it'll be very entertaining.
I think it will be. So lead into our game.
Yep.
So
I want Vanderbilt to win in a sense because I want Tennessee to knock them down. But at the same time, I want Kentucky to win because I hate Vanderbilt.
Exactly.
Well, let me ask you this though, guys, real quick, because I know it's a kind of a weird weekend or whatever. Where would game day go for that Saturday? Is it the Iron Bowl that they would go to, or is Auburn so bad in the record wise it doesn't matter with what's on the line? Would they go to a Tennessee? Would they come back to Knoxville for this Tennessee Vanderbilt?
That's
game?
a good question.
And just have Kirk and Chris call that game at 3:30 or whatever. If it's the ABC game, like you said.
I mean, we're talking about next week.
Yeah.
The only game I could see them being at would be Texas and Texas A&M, and that's on a Friday. They don't have game day on a Friday.
Yeah, one that's just as equal to that would be Georgia Tech.
Exactly, that's on a Friday too.
That's on a Friday too. That's 3:30. Yeah,
that's the lead-in to Texas and Texas A&M.
Yeah, the only two games that you could really want that I would think would.
Oh, I know where they'd be. Michigan. Ohio State.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that shit. Yeah. Because Michigan will still technically be in the top 15. Yeah, they will be. So,
the game.
Unless Maryland pulls something out their ass.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They'll be in Ann Arbor for that one.
Yeah, I forgot about that. And then the whole thing about can Ohio State get the Michigan monkey off their back? It's been years, and that's the bragging rights Desmond has over Kirk right now and so forth.
That's the story. That's the story.
I think it'll come between Texas A&M and Texas and Ohio State and Michigan for where they'll be at.
Yeah, and they've already been to Knoxville, so I forgot about that. I guess it's just because Michigan looked. Man, Kerry, you were right. Michigan should have lost to Northwestern last week on that damn kick.
Unless some crazy shit happens this week, and Vanderbilt makes a huge jump, and Tennessee jumps just because. I mean, hopefully we get into Florida, but you have 3 premier matchups.
Now, SEC Nation, they haven't been to Knoxville yet.
They'll be there for that one. That's the game.
They could be there. They could be there for Vanderbilt and Tennessee.
Unless Feinbaum just has such a heart on to want to go to the Plains or what have you like that. So I mean,
They should be in Knoxville.
They should be. That'd be the game. I mean, it's a 2 ranked.
He's a UT grad.
Yeah.
He still gives a little bit of loyalty to Tennessee, but not much because he loves Alabama. He lives in Alabama. Well, he used to live in Alabama. He lives in Charlotte now.
He's the worst Tennessee fan ever. He has to be. He ranks up there.
The last time I saw him truly pull for Tennessee was when he came out of the coffin.
Yeah, in Alabama.
Yep. Yeah. Doing the whole Undertaker thing.
Yeah. That was it. So, all right. So basically, so we're all taking Vanderbilt in that one.
Yeah, I'm gonna take Vandy in a tight one.
All right. What about this USC at Oregon game? Guys, I'm still not sold on Oregon, and even the committee. I was embarrassed for them that they admitted that Penn State game was a big win at the time, and then Penn State fell off, and I'm like, so. I mean, I think the Iowa game was probably a bigger win than the Penn State game. I mean, to go in the road in Iowa City and the conditions that it was, and they found a way to win. But truth be told, those are the only 2 ranked opponents Oregon's faced all year, guys.
And this is where game day will be this weekend in Oregon for this game. And it's going to be a good game. This might be the toughest game to pick.
Yeah.
Because there's so much on the line for both.
Mm-hmm.
And if you were to ask me, it would not surprise me if USC walked in there and beat them. If they can handle Oregon's running game, they'll beat them. Because I don't think Oregon, believe it or not, I don't think Oregon can score with USC.
No, I don't either. And Jay Maivia, if anybody's not seen this kid play, he is a hell of a quarterback. And Lincoln Riley, he's rejuvenated that Lincoln Riley offense there at USC and so forth. So
he's the real deal.
Yeah. They're already talking about him as being somebody that is definitely going to be one of the top quarterbacks drafted when he's eligible for the NFL draft.
He impressed me with that Iowa game because Iowa's a good defense, good football team.
And he let them back. I mean, as badly as they started, he let them back. The kid was composed.
He hung in that pocket. He got some shots, but he delivered that ball. He can throw it, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, he did. Let me ask you guys this. I'm going to go on this one. I'm going to go with my guy, Angel. He's a big USC Trojans fan. Give me the USC Trojans. I like them in the upset over the Ducks. I don't believe in the Ducks. So I'm going to go with USC.
I believe USC too.
Yeah. What do you got, Shane?
Give me USC.
Let's see some chaos happen. Let's see some chaos.
That would be some chaos.
It's been a crazy season this year. Let's see some more.
Yeah, there's going to be some more before.
Well, I really don't feel like watching Oregon get their shit pushed in by another SEC team in the playoff. You know, so
Ohio State.
Yeah, pretty much, because that's what would happen.
Yeah.
Kansas State at Utah. Again, this is only up here for this reason. I had to do a double take at the line because, guys, I wanted to take you back. The reason why this game was positioned where it was at was that Kansas State was supposed to be a top Big 12 contender.
Yeah.
And ever since the loss to Iowa State in the Dublin Bowl over there in Ireland, I mean, the wheels have just fallen off completely. And I only bring this up because this was actually considered the game before Texas Tech and BYU kind of stole the show. There was even talk about Iowa State being in this mix. But that being said, did you guys know that Utah is a 35-point favorite over Kansas State?
Never thought I'd see the day that a Kansas State team would be a 5-touchdown underdog.
And so I'm saying this, that Utah has blown out everybody but the 2 losses they have. But do they cover or, and do they maybe have to win by that margin to maybe keep in that mix with the committee at this point? Because they're also on the outside looking in as the 3rd Big 12 team.
I don't know if they cover. I think they win, but I don't know if they cover. That's a tough road to hold. A conference game, 35 points. Man. You only see that in the SEC when Vanderbilt was bad. When Vanderbilt was really bad, you only saw it then.
Yeah.
This is real. Kansas State, I've never seen that number next to a Kansas State team. My God.
Well, Shane, let me ask you this. If Utah finishes this, beats the hell out of Kansas State this week, beats the hell out of Kansas next week, they're also already favored by 30 in that game, and that game's at Lawrence. Not that matters, but they're on the road. This is their senior day. But where I'm getting at is, Shane, if USC beats Oregon and USC's 2 losses are to Notre Dame and to Illinois, and then you've got Utah losing to Texas Tech and BYU, who would you put in, Utah or USC?
Oh, wow. Ooh, that's a tough one.
Because they were both Pac-12 rivals for a while there before they went to the Big 12 and Big 10 respectively. And it's that West Coast market.
Given the way everything goes when it comes to the market, they'll put USC in.
Yeah.
Just
because of the brand. Yeah.
But you want that West Coast LA market.
But I'll tell you this, that committee chair guy, to be honest with you, being from the Utah AD, does he do some shenanigans? You never know. So with that influence there, but it is what it is. Finally, had to throw our game in there. Tennessee at Florida. It has been 22 years theoretically, even though they play every other year. So we'll call it 12. I mean, I was at that game in Gainesville and loved every moment of it. But what happens this year, guys? That was 2003. I was a sophomore at UT.
Wow.
Yeah.
I remember the Hail Mary at halftime from Casey Clausen to James Banks.
Yes, Banksy. Yeah.
And there's a show on Monday called Behind the Orange that Austin Price does. Casey Clausen was the guest this week.
Oh yeah. The most disrespected quarterback at UT history that all he did was win on the road. Couldn't win at home, but on the road was just an absolute animal.
Great guy. Yeah. I got to know him a little bit. Great guy. Didn't like his dad so much. His dad was a bit of an a-hole, but he is a great guy.
Explains why little brother should turn out the way he did.
Yeah.
You want to know something? Can I tell you?
Little brother.
Yeah, Jimmy, not Rick. Yeah, Jimmy.
Jimmy.
Little Jimmy. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I was jealous of old Casey because my crush in college was Brittany Jackson, former Lady Vol, and that was his girl at the time.
That was his girl.
And I had broadcasting classes with her, so I was like, man.
And Brittany was hot too.
It was gorgeous.
God.
Wasn't she at FHM?
What's that?
Wasn't she in the FHM magazine?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, dude, the whole women's basketball tournament was her holding a basketball, promoting it that year. Nobody wanted to look at Diana Taurasi. They wanted to look at Brittany Jackson. Damn it! So,
who then became Albert Hainsworth's baby mama.
Yep. That's
true.
Right.
That is.
Yeah, because I met her years later. Albert's son had a son over at Beard Middle when I was an officer, and I met him all later.
There you go. So. Yep. Yeah. Oh, speaking of that Lady Vol team, congrats to Kara Lawson. She got her 100th win as Duke's women's basketball coach on Sunday, by the way. So,
and she got promoted. She's now the new coach of the U.S. women's basketball team for the Olympics here in 28. How awesome!
I couldn't think of a better choice.
She's got to be the best, experienced basketball coach in women's basketball.
Oh yeah,
because she's coached NBA ball.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, no, she's good. No, and she was
with the Celtics.
Yeah, she was with them. She played forever in the WNBA. She was also a very good analyst for when they did the women's tournament when the WNBA wasn't going on. I mean, she's done amazing for herself. So
her and Becky Hammond, I'm telling you, man, Becky Hammond and her have set bars.
Yeah.
And Dawn Staley, but now she's the new U.S. Women's Olympic coach, and it's perfect for 28. The Olympics being in L.A.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot I fun.
Yeah, but no, I just thought I'd give because I liked her and I went to school with her, and the thing is that 100th win, man, good for you, honestly. So and realistically, I'm glad that she's at Duke and doesn't have the pressure of being in Pat's shadow, and I think we've done great with Kim Caldwell. So I'm just saying, and
I think the
best thing Tennessee did was go away from the tree.
Yes, I agree with that.
Kim Caldwell is going to be great for this university. She's going to be unbelievable.
Yeah,
she's going to bring a title home.
Absolutely. Yep. Real quick though, but the Vols in Florida. Listen, I'm going with the Vols. They've got to do this. If not now, when? I'm going to just say that. And if Florida somehow pulls this off, I mean, I don't even want to even think about the next week, guys. I really don't. But what are your thoughts at this point? So yeah.
Give me Tennessee 38-24. I think Tennessee. I think it's a tight game, but then because it's Florida senior, it's not. I don't think it's their senior day.
No, it's next week against Florida State. But yeah,
they're going to play us tight. They're going to play us tight for a little bit, but I think Tennessee wears them down and pulls away in the fourth quarter. I got 38-24.
I agree with that.
So. I don't think they can stop the run. They gave up 225 yards to Lacey at Ole Miss last week. If we commit to the run, they're not going to stop our running back. Bishop gets a chance to tote it. Bishop could have a huge day. Could have a big day.
And if our defense can get after Lagway and have him throw some interceptions, there's
like
the
last
key
year.
Right there. Yeah, that's the key. So yeah. What do you got, Shane?
I got Tennessee. Give me, with everything that's going on with Tennessee this past week, I think Tennessee comes out. Give me 42-21.
Okay. I like it.
I think the fact that you're right, a lot that has happened this week with a dismissal of Boo Carter, which really, in a reality, from what I'm hearing, should have happened sooner. But Heupel, and I actually agree with Heupel because he didn't want to leave no questions whatsoever.
Yeah.
He didn't want to get rid of them, and then something good come out, something backlash come. So he waited and waited, and it was the right time. And Boo, he let Boo mess up. He basically let him screw himself up.
Yeah.
I just am
And that's
just
a shame.
at a loss.
So here's a question.
Yeah.
Worst Tennessee parent out of the three?
Oh, Nico's dad. I'm sorry.
Let me name my three.
Go ahead.
Boo's mom.
Who's the third?
Nico's dad. Jalen Hurd's mom.
I'm gonna say Nico because it made national news.
Okay. All right. Here. Okay.
And he's still making national news.
All right. Here. Okay. I see where you're going with Shane. Here's why. Okay. I think that in terms of the money that was cost and the era, it has to be Nico's dad. However, I would argue Jalen Hurd's mom because he could have been something amazing.
Yeah, he could have been great.
When he changed and went to Baylor, I think that's where he ended up, right?
Yep, Baylor. He moved to receiver.
And that was the end of that because I think he could have had all kinds of records here, like he had already said. Maybe Tennessee has a better year with him coming back, and then he finds a nice little niche and maybe carves out a 7-year career in the NFL instead of having no career. So I see what you mean. Yeah. So
I think he was less than 300 yards away from breaking the all-time record.
Yep,
that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
As a junior.
Yeah.
As a junior.
Yeah. I mean, he
could
was
have been a Heisman candidate. He could have been a Heisman candidate.
And Butch misused him.
Yep.
Horribly.
I think all his coaches misused him. For God's sakes, he gets his damn shoulder dislocated and really had problems with it ever since. I mean, how dare they play a guy like that on defense? You know what I mean? And stupid. So, yep. I mean, first game of the year gets hurt.
I have to say Nico's dad because it's made national news and he's continued to make national news since leaving. So, to me, and those other two are pretty bad. But because of the NIL and the money that it cost, like James said, I'll go with Nico's dad because he truly has ruined his son's career.
Yeah. I think if I got rank, it's going to go Nico's dad, followed by Boo's mom, followed by Jalen Hurd's mom. Because Hurd at least made it to the league. He made it to the league.
That is true. He did make it to the league. He was at San Francisco, I believe.
Then he went to the Patriots, got hurt during training camp.
And that was it.
And retired.
That was it. Yeah, and you see, that's why I'm saying that I think he could have gotten a nice 7-year career. Maybe the injuries still happen, but I think that if he's playing his natural position.
Yeah, he could have gotten a longer career.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and I'm gonna say this much. Let me ask you guys a question. If Nico had just said, listen, I'm just not happy at Tennessee, and thanks for the opportunity, but I do want to like if it wasn't so publicized, do you think a school would have taken him where maybe they entertain this idea of paying him $3.8 million a year or something like that, as opposed to because of the California taxes, he lost money, is what I'm getting at. And so, like, let's say would they have taken him and paid $3.8 million if he was the best available quarterback without dealing with the shenanigans that you didn't know what his dad was all about? I mean, so
And he handled the thing leaving here a lot better. If he just said, look, I'm not happy here. I'm not happy with the direction. If he had handled it in a class way, he probably would have gotten on somewhere else or somebody would have paid him the money. But because of the way it got handled, when other coaches are calling you, telling you, your boy's out here shopping, your dad's boy, your boy's father is out here shopping your quarterback.
Yeah.
It doesn't go that it went down worse.
You're right. No, you're right, Kerry. You're right.
Because there was an easier way that he could have handled it. He said, okay, I feel bad. I miss California. I miss home. Okay. Tennessee fans, everybody here would have understood.
Yeah.
Easily.
And we were always expecting it because the
Yeah.
way everything went down before the Ohio State game.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. So we're all going to take Tennessee in this one, correct?
Yep.
So, yep.
Yes.
Okay. I want to talk just a little NFL ball before we get to our favorite segments and so forth. More than anything, the week NFL games. You had the Patriots beat the Jets. The Dolphins and Commanders basically made Spain hate NFL. The Panthers beat the Falcons. Kerry, the Bills and Bucks, man, I know you didn't like it as many points as scored, but man, was that a fun game to watch.
Actually, I enjoyed it. I had a feeling there was going to be a lot of points scored. Great for fantasy, especially now if you were dumb enough to pick against Josh Allen for fantasy, boy, do you look foolish.
No, but guess who? Guess which asshole didn't play the Tampa Bay running back that got 3 touchdowns? This guy with 2 thumbs. So there we go, and lost my damn fantasy game by leaving him on the bench.
I didn't see that coming.
No.
Not out of him anyway. Now, if a Tampa Bay running back had scored 3 touchdowns, I expected Baker to have more touchdowns than that kid.
Than that guy. Yeah.
That was a shocker.
And what's worse is I played Khalil Shakir, and he was the only Bill that didn't do nothing in that game. I mean, Can you imagine me, man? I'm terrible.
I think Josh Allen set a record for fantasy points ever by a player. Ever.
Who left him on the bench? If somebody left him on the bench, you deserve to lose and be out of the playoffs and everything.
Or if you bet against him, you deserve to lose.
Yeah.
That's the second time in a calendar year he's had 6 touchdowns in a game.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'll tell you a game that shocked me, by the way. How bad the Jaguars beat the shit out of the Chargers. I mean, that was just...
Yeah, that was kind of
it reminded me of the days of Clemson when Sunshine and ETN were running the show. Like, this is what Jaguar fans were thinking they were going to get right off the bat, and it finally happened for them. I mean... Yeah,
that was shocking.
Yeah.
And then the Titans... Hey, the Titans played them hard.
They should have won that. It was like
they should have won. They should have won that game.
Here we go. So, yeah, I mean... Bears got a big win over the Vikings.
The Rams Seahawks game was fantastic.
Yeah.
And I got to give Seattle, and it told me in that game, even though Seattle lost, it told me that if they were to play again, which they will in a couple of weeks, Seattle's the better team because only your quarterback could throw 4 interceptions, and you're 5 feet away from making a 61-yard field goal to win the game.
Exactly.
The Seahawks are for real.
Yeah,
they are seriously for real.
And even with 4 interceptions from Sam Darnold, they still almost won that game.
Exactly.
So they're good. They really are good. They
are for real.
So yeah. Jackson Smith-Nigba. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
For
Did
sure.
you see that? I saw that catch on the sideline. He made a one-hand catch. He just stuck his hand out in the ball. You couldn't have placed the ball in his hand better than that. And
guys, I have him in 2 of my fantasy leagues, and he has not disappointed. And one of the games I lost is because they were on their damn bye week. Honestly, he's a stud. He's a stud. So for sure,
out of that Ohio State factory of receivers, man.
Just keep churning him out. And the only reason poor Marvin Harrison is not doing better is because they don't got a quarterback in Arizona. You know, I mean, exactly. I'd ask for a trade if I were him.
Well, that's going to change because I think they're going to go through a house cleaning in Arizona.
Yeah,
and he's going to get a new quarterback.
Yeah, they need to. So, and then we need to, I guess, give a salute to the Broncos for getting rid of the Chiefs because I think they're pretty much out at this point, right? Like,
they need a good stretch just to get themselves into the wild card. Division's out the door.
Yeah. Well, maybe Kelsey can get married, and Mahomes can make some more commercials, and we can get somebody else in it for a change. So
we'll find out this weekend with the Colts. We'll find out this weekend how much they love the game.
Yeah.
Because if they lose to the Colts, they're completely done.
And the Colts had 2 weeks to get ready for this game. They were off last week. They were on a bye, so they healed up a little bit.
They've had 2 weeks to get ready.
Yep. So, and then there was really no surprise. I was actually surprised there were not more points scored in that the Eagles-Lions game Sunday night. But the Eagles just outlasted the Lions. I mean, that might be a preview of the NFC Championship right there that we saw.
Possibly.
Possibly. So, yeah. Oh my God! But then this Dolphins Commanders game, Mike McDaniel
He almost gave
doesn't.
it.
Can you freaking imagine?
How do you
guys?
not kick the field goal on fourth? I don't care. It's 16-13. You don't need to go to overtime. Just kick the
And then
field
the
goal.
little
game's
run
over.
tries to even get in the referee's face, and I'm like, shut up and sit down. I mean, you are so bad, and yet the Commanders just Mariota throws that pick, and then it was like, you better kick that field goal. He's still trying to run Achane,
Yep.
who's a great player. Don't get me wrong, but I'm just like, damn, dude, you're going to get him hurt. You almost lost him on the goal line running him like
Exactly.
that and so forth. I mean, oh, the Dolphins. Oh my God. And just to give you guys the update, the Dolphins aren't even in the top 10 anymore. They're on a win streak right now. So it's the Titans firmly at 1. Yeah. They're 4-7. They're 4-7.
Yeah, they're at 11, I believe.
Yeah, the Falcons are at 11. Actually, the Falcons are 11. They're at 12. So yeah, but you got the Titans at 1, the Giants at 2, Saints at 3, Browns at 4. The only reason the Jets are behind the Browns is because the Jets beat the Browns head to head.
Yep.
The Raiders are making their way up. The Commanders are there at 7. And the Bengals are at 9, and the Cardinals, like you said, who are going to do the house cleaning, are at 3 and 7. And I'm going to tell you this: if you've got a fantasy player playing against the Cardinals this week,
you got to have a field day.
Play them is what I'm going to say. So play them. So yeah, for sure. And then here's the big the games this week. You got the Bills at Texans on Thursday.
Tomorrow night. Yep.
Steelers at the Bears. Pats at the Bengals. That'll be a joke. Lions should crush the Giants. Vikings at the Packers could be interesting. Seahawks, oh my God.
Could destroy the Titans.
Colts at Chiefs. Jets at Ravens. The Ravens are going to get another win there. Browns at Raiders, oh my God. Jags at Cardinals. Jags, there you go. Play Sunshine. He'll get you points. ETN. Eagles at Cowboys. They should destroy them. I don't even know what to think about that Falcons Saints game. And how in the hell, Kerry, is that in a 4:00 slate? That shit right there.
Because
honestly.
well, the good thing is the Eagles and Cowboys are in the same slot, so most of the country's going to watch that crap, watch them, and don't worry about the Saints and Falcons crap.
Shane, do you want to know something that I noticed last week on Sunday, by the way, that I've never noticed before? And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. The Titans are so bad that they didn't even have them on our CBS 1:00 game. We got the Bucks-Bills game.
Yeah,
they were a Fox game, and they weren't even put on Fox.
That's what it was. Thank you. They were the Fox game.
Chicago
and Minnesota was. And I was thinking to myself, I was like, well, are the Titans off this week? No, I thought they already had their guys. And I was just like, it's pretty bad that they didn't even put the Titans here locally. Like, wow.
That says everything you
need
to know.
They need to sell the team. I'm not joking.
Well, they're going to do
They built that damn nice stadium, though. It's just going to sit there.
They're going to do a complete dive.
Yeah.
That's new stadium opens in 2 years. Yeah. They figured they could go through a complete cleaning, get a young team. They got a quarterback. The good thing is they don't have to draft a quarterback. They can draft everything else. Get an offensive lineman or get them an offensive line. Get them some skilled players. They could trade that if they get the number 1 pick. They could trade that number 1 pick. Get a gang
2 picks. Get
like 2 picks.
Yeah, man. Sure. So, well, all I know is that they need to get a big time free agent, either running back or
they're going to have the money. They're going to have the money to do it too.
Yeah,
they've got to stop going for the former big name receiver. Who once they get to the Titans, they're past their prime.
Have you seen a worse year by a player than Calvin Ridley? Just absolutely impotent offensively. I mean, just awful. Hurt. I mean, he's done nothing. Done absolutely nothing this year. And that's what you wanted to get with him.
I would say when Randy Moss was a Titan.
That was pretty bad too. But they always do it. They do that.
Bad.
I mean, they really do. They get these guys on the back ends of their career, and Father Time gets us all, baby. So yeah, I mean, shoot,
every single one of us.
So that's what's going on there, and then the Panthers at the 49ers is the Monday night game. I guess they just wanted to give Christian McCaffrey some love on Monday night, man, because he'll roll up.
I think that could be entertaining. Panthers
Rico Dowdell's been pretty interesting.
Yeah. And they're only half a game behind Tampa for a division lead, and they haven't even played Tampa yet. They still got 2 meetings with them. So that battle's going to go
Kerry,
down
I'm
to the
shocked
end.
that they actually have the record that they do. I mean, I'm really shocked that the
They've
Panthers have
played
had a good of
they've
a
played
season as
really
they've
good
had. It must be
offensive
coaching.
football.
So
Yeah, Canales, I think, has done a really good
yeah,
job.
they have.
I mean, Bryce Young looked fantastic in Atlanta. He threw for almost 500 yards. He looked fantastic.
Yeah. And Rico Dowdell has been
Yeah.
their running game. I mean, he's really he's
Get him
helped me in
get him in fantasy
so,
because he's been delivering points for a lot of people in fantasy. Rico has.
Yep, me in particular. So, all right. Well, Kerry, real quick, let's get to your segment, baby. It's Kerry's big games of the week. Which should we be paying attention to over these next few days, my good man?
All right. College wise, you got USC and Oregon, of course, that I'm looking at in the college ranks, which should actually be pretty fun game. CBS actually has that game, which shocked the crap out of me because CBS never gets these games like this. But hey, more power to them. And then on Sunday, I got Colts and Chiefs. I call it Kansas City's last stand because if Kansas City doesn't win, they're out. They could be out completely. We could be talking about having a question: will the Kansas City Chiefs miss the entire playoff?
Ooh, I'd love to see it.
Which
And-
means Travis Kelce could get married right after the season's over.
Well, and
Go
you
ahead
know
and
what?
retire.
This
Yep,
goes
and
this
go ahead
goes
and
with
retire.
this goes with the Super Bowl curse. You know, the loser just has
Yep.
a complete terrible season the next year, and just kind of like what happened with the poor 49ers last year. And Chiefs have done it, like they've lost. So yeah, I mean,
And the other game that I have is the Eagles and Cowboys. I want to see what the new additions for Dallas on that defensive line can do with Philadelphia.
yeah.
And this is Dallas's chance. Hey, Dallas's schedule, they got Philadelphia Sunday, and then they got Kansas City for Thanksgiving. After that, they got 5 games that they could run the table. If they split these two and run the table, 10 wins for them, possible playoff in the NFC is surprisingly not out of the question.
Mm-hmm.
With that offense is cooking right now, man.
Well, and I just don't know what the hell is going on with the Eagles. I mean, I would have thought by now they would have figured it out. I mean, with the offense and the names that they have, it looks like they're not even having fun, and they should be really rolling right now. I mean, Saquon's numbers are down. Jalen's doing all he can. I mean, the receivers, I don't know, guys. It's been disappointing. Odier's not even really doing much at tight end for him. So, yeah. I don't know.
Saquon's suffering the curse. Every time somebody runs for 2,000 yards, that down year comes right after, and it's tough.
It's a lot of yards.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he balled out. I mean, he really put that team on his back.
And a lot of wear and tear on his body, too.
Yeah. So, well, I like those matchups, and definitely listen to this guy. He knows, and he's been saying it all year. Where there's a game that keep an eye on, and it's delivered, whether it's been pro or college all year. So, thank you, Kerry, for that one. Awesome on that one. All right, guys, our favorite segment. They stink. I think we all decided that we collectively had one that we were all going to say together, but obviously we probably have our individuals. Let's do it together, guys. Who's the first they stink? I mean, who wants to start talking about it? I mean, we can all chime in different sentences to describe what we all watched together Saturday around 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So
we want to do our collective one first, or we want to
let's do our collective one. Let's do our collective one first, then we can do our individuals.
Obviously, our collective one is Shane Beamer.
Yep.
And the lip cocks.
So bad.
I like
so
that.
Damn bad.
I like that. The limp cocks.
I mean, the no cocks. I mean, my God.
It takes me back to Marquez North days. It only takes one hand to beat a cock.
Oh my God.
Y'all remember that?
I haven't heard that in so long. Yep. Marquez North.
You know what it takes me back to? It takes me back to that guy that South Carolina had that had the mullet for a while there. I forget that quarterback's name.
Tannehill.
Yeah, Tannehill. That was his name. It was Tannehill, wasn't it? Oh my God!
Tannehill.
Beat the absolute shit out of them. I mean, I loved that game. So shoot. I mean, they were so bad. I mean, and then Lenoris Sellers. There's talk about him maybe going to Miami. No thanks. No,
Nah.
please don't. No. And
What he
I mean,
needs is a professional. He needs a quarterback coach. He needs
He does.
somebody that's going to teach him the game. He's got great ability, but he needs somebody to teach him the game. He needs to go somewhere where somebody can work with him.
Yeah. And then Shane, what else can you say about Shane Beamer? I mean, he had that stupid look on his face. I mean, what was he doing? I mean, what the fuck was that?
He's already going around saying right now that South Carolina will be a playoff team next year.
Yeah,
Yeah, my ass. I mean,
he may not be
suck.
there next year. He may not be there next year.
It was a fireable offense, like you said.
Oh
Kerry.
yes, it was. It was
The only
fireable
reason
offense.
the only reason he's still there is because there's too many higher name or
Yep.
higher program that are available that they're not going to get some. They won't get somebody.
And that's why Mike Norvell is going to be around at Florida State one more year because of that very reason.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
Because they were set to fire him, and they can't do it now.
Well, you know, the truth of the matter is that not only was it a fireable offense, but he's had two of the best teams or two of these playoff teams on the ropes, one at home and one on the road,
Yep.
just absolutely just collapse. I mean, I mean, just terrible. And he definitely don't got his daddy's pedigree. He sucks, man. I mean, so let's all say it together. South Carolina Gamecocks, you stink. You smelly ass. So Larry Frank's got one. Kevin Stefanski stinks because Shador never got first team reps, and he got Adam Sandler longest yard offensive line.
Yeah, he did.
That was blatant, dude. I even went back and watched it after Larry pointed it out. Damn right. They it's like, yeah, they let him get nailed, Adam Sandler, Burt Reynolds style in the longest yard, whichever version you like, honestly. So Stefanski smells like paint thinner and ass. He stinks. So I like that one.
Yeah.
Shane, you got one though, individual. So
my individual one goes out to the Carter family.
Oh
yeah.
Boo Carter's mom has now completely deleted or made her Facebook private, along with her Instagram.
What a shock!
After going on another rant about her son. Like, yes, obviously defend your child in any shape, form, or fashion. But like we're saying with way Nico's dad was, and he was in his ear giving his kid bad advice. I think she gave her son bad advice. She was dead set on him going to Colorado. She must have a thing for Coach Prime or something. I think she has screwed up his college chances completely. You don't post your son's injury report on social media with all of his personal info. You don't go to war with the entire fan base like you did. You were sitting there costing your son a chance. He could come back. He's an amazing, talented player. He is skilled.
We saw him in high school. We watched him.
We watched
him. He was right here.
I've watched Heupel recruit him. I literally was at the game watching Heupel there in person, watching Boo.
Yeah, Heupel would actually go out of his way and watch him.
Yep.
Him.
Yep. She has screwed her son over.
Oh yeah.
To where there's always a saying that you don't just recruit the player, you recruit the family. What program takes the risk with her?
None.
You have to get him away from the state of Tennessee and hope she don't follow.
Yep.
Good luck on that.
Good luck.
I don't see him going to any major school.
Yeah, he ain't going to Colorado because Dion ain't gonna have the deal with that mess.
Nope. I
I
think she just has a thing for Coach Prime and thinks that she's gonna win him over or something because she's just all about him. Like, you don't screw your kid's chances over. And when you see parents like this, programs do not take the risk on the player.
Yep.
And say he does ball out at his next school, or if he goes and gets to the league, you don't think every GM and coach is going to ask, so what really happened?
Yep. Nico's about to go through the same thing.
Yep. Well, Shane,
what really
say
happened?
Mrs. Carter, what does she do?
Mama Boo, you stink.
Mama Boo, I like
that. That's what she went by on Facebook. Mama Boo.
Yep.
Mama Boo. Mama Boo. Hey, Mama Boo. Bye. So bye now.
Bye-bye.
So
hey, Boo Boo. Where's the picnic basket?
Boo Hoo. Boo Hoo.
Kerry, who you got this week? Who's your stinker?
Well, this is gonna the NFL Sunday. There are things in life I can't condone. Hitting women, domestic violence, can't condone that.
Absolutely not.
Racial slurs, definitely
Definitely
condone.
not. Yeah.
But the one thing that really I can't really condone is another man spitting on another man. I don't care if it's heat of battle. I don't care if it's any of that. Jamar Chase, boy, you let me down. You let me down and football fans all over the world down.
Mm-hmm.
By now, trash talk, it happens. It happens every game, all the time. We know this. But there is nothing in the world that somebody could say to you that makes you want to loogie up and spit based right on the cross of another man.
Mm-hmm.
And then to make it worse, you go to press conference, you talk to reporters after the game, you double down saying, "Oh, I didn't spit on him." No,
and the video was right there. I mean,
it's bad enough that CBS had the video, but the local Cincinnati sports station, that's the home of the Bengals, had it. Not only had it on tape, had the trash talking on tape as well. And Jalen Ramsey got thrown out of a game because I would have done the exact same thing. I would have went off and started wailing.
Oh yeah.
And you notice Jalen Ramsey probably got fined, but Jamar Chase got suspended at least one game. He should have gotten 2 for double down on the lie.
Mm-hmm.
And you robbed us football fans of seeing you, especially in a week where your starting quarterback, Joe Burrow, may be returning Sunday and doesn't have his number one weapon to deal with the New England Patriots.
Mm-hmm.
Because you made a stupid decision in the heat of the moment.
And every fantasy owner who needs this win this week to get into playoffs is also affected.
Make the playoffs, and you probably cost some fantasy people a shot at the playoffs. Yeah. So Jamar Chase, from me and football fans all over the world, you stink.
I love it.
Yep.
I love it.
Absolutely stink.
I love it.
And I'm not even a Bengal fan, but I want to see great players do out there on the field all the time. And you're a great player. You're better than that.
Absolutely.
You're better than that. Jalen Carter learned his lesson. You need to learn yours too.
You know, I've been going back and forth on so many things that could have qualified for this. The game in what's it called? That game in Spain was just atrocious between the Dolphins and the Commanders, Redskins, whatever the hell you want to call them. I've never seen such bad football played when you're trying to expand the brand. I don't know what those tickets went for, but it was awful. But
they got ripped off.
The only thing that beat it, that absolutely just beat it, was the ACC football conference on Saturday from top to bottom. Here you have a conference that is horribly run by buffoons who don't know anything. You've got a guy that was a basketball player at Greensboro that does football. They've got a poor man looking Ronald Reagan guy who made the bowl tie-ins. They've got another guy who is a Notre Dame former associate athletic director and went to school in Illinois as the commissioner. And I say all that, they have a referee in charge who teaches other referees to make calls. And he was once criticized by Tom Brady as being one of the most horrible referees of all time because of the fact that more holds were called in those games. This is where you're at the top. And to follow it up with product where you don't know which teams to push, the team that's probably going to represent you almost lost to the worst team I've seen all season in Boston College. Needed a last-second field goal to win that game. You had Duke, who is still somehow in the conversation, just get the doors blown off of them by Virginia at home. They need to just stick to basketball. That's all you need to say about that. You've got North Carolina around there. Stanford is abysmal. You've got just shitty product. Clemson and Louisville couldn't have been worse on a Friday night. Miami destroys NC State. Who cares?
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, Florida State and Virginia Tech was so bad on the ACC network at night that just somebody had to win, and the receiver for Virginia Tech walked off the field before the game even got started. ACC football, you don't deserve a representative in the college football playoff.
Nope.
You don't deserve anything. So you should just start pushing your narrative for basketball because that's what you really care about. ACC football in general, from top to bottom, you stink. Stink. Just absolute trash shit. Just awful. Just awful. So
there's a chance they may get more basketball teams than football. That's bad.
They actually might. They actually got a good product this year. In fact, Virginia Tech and Virginia are improved. Keep an eye on that Louisville team. Duke speaks for itself. North Carolina seems to be back. So and then don't sell a sleeper like a Miami and Florida State with their first year coaches. They
look pretty good so far.
Yeah, I mean, and they held their own against the defending champs and the Gators. So it pained me to say that, but yeah, you know. So, guys, real quick before we wrap it up. What are some of your Shane? What were some of your favorite episodes on Rebels with a Cause since we're celebrating being 100 and everything like that? So
my favorite episode was our episode with Coach Lindsay.
Yeah, that was a good one. That was a good one. So yeah. I would argue that we've not had one bad guest on here. They've told some really, I mean, from the mayor of Maynardville to Dr. Michael Morrow to Dr. Troy Smith to, you know, we've had some fantastic, to Tommy Whitten, Tinney and Reed. I mean, you know, but like you said, Coach Lindsay, Coach Brown, you know, I'll tell you, me personally, my favorite, and I don't know why it always just stands out to me, was our first live show at Gibbs High School with the Aurora thing going on in the background, the green lights and so forth, and we didn't even realize it. And you know, it was just such a fun, and everybody was just looking at us and they're like, "What are these guys doing?" Oh, they're breaking down West High football at an away game, and then I love that how we got fed at Catholic. You know, just our road games, like they're doing the live shows. And, you know, Kerry, you and me had a good time doing the Bearden game this year, even though
that's what I remember. I remember the road games that you guys have done and the ones that I got to do with you this year, especially the ones last year where you guys were at Bearden. Broke it down before and after. Those were great shows. Those were great shows.
Those were my favorite. Yeah. I mean, any of our live shows. I mean, I even enjoyed doing the live show with Coach Castro with the soccer girls a few weeks back.
Awesome.
That was awesome to be there 2 weeks, you know, 2 times in 1 week. I mean, was just amazing. And it was really awesome. And shout out to Coach Romero, or shout out to our athletic director, Paul Romero, and all the coaches who have entertained us. Coach Chandler, Coach Brown. I mean, just everybody that's just supported us and the guests and everybody that's contributed.
Our episode with Nathan was a good one.
Oh, Nathan.
Oh, Cottrell.
Nathan Cottrell. That was a great episode.
Yeah, that was a great episode. So, you know, one episode that really doesn't get talked about a lot was when we had Ryan Perry on, the offensive lineman from that team. And, you know, he recently adopted that young man down there in Chattanooga that he coaches. And and I said to Ryan Perry, I said, I couldn't think of a better man that's deserving to adopt this young man, and that you two have found each other, father and son, you know, and as a mentor, it just warms my heart. And that kid was an animal on the field at West, one of my favorite offensive linemen, to ever step foot at West, and him and Nathan, and he's a preacher down there, and I loved him coming on here, and also Coach Giles and what he's done for the program at West, Farragut, leader of men. I mean, he's another great one too that I can't I think so highly of and everything. But everybody that's contributed and been on this show, we thank you. And like I said, I couldn't have said it better than what Larry Frank said earlier. Let's go for 10,000 if we can do it. But the main thing is getting your all shows up off the ground next, and Brad Holloway's Tower of Power Hour. Stallion Speaks did phenomenal this past week, got over 90 views. So again, we're just going to continue to expand.
I watched that. Was a great show.
Thank you. And we're just scratching the surface. So we're gonna get a little bit more into it and so forth. And that's the thing. There's always going to be a topic. And I always said, if you have a platform and have a voice, and we're just going to keep riding this wave. You all keep giving us the views. We'll give you a reason to keep entertaining you, because that's what we love to do, and we enjoy the camaraderie here, guys. And that's all I've got and so forth. It's a shame Two Pair couldn't make it tonight, but he's just as much a part of this, and he started this. And that picture behind me, when the duo became the trio, that's what. And now we're a quartet. We're a nice barbershop quartet. So,
we need to get a new picture for a quartet now.
Yeah,
we do. We need to get a new picture, and we need to do it like no pun intended, Knoxville Vice style or whatever like that, and throwing up the W or whatever. It'd be awesome. So in front of Shane's new truck, like maybe we can even sit in the back of the bed. That would be awesome. Like doing the W. So yeah, we'll need somebody to take a picture of it and so forth. But that's all I got. Coach, final thoughts. Kerry, final thoughts, and I'll wrap it up and everything. So
my final thoughts are God's good.
Yep.
With everything I've gone through past year, today was a huge blessing. Still got a ways to go, but God's good. He was able to provide for me today. So that's what I got.
Yeah, for me, it's been a year. I've been thinking about this time last year. I was just getting out of the hospital in time for Thanksgiving with everything that happened to me. And I think about now a year after that, I'm like, it's unbelievable what has transpired. And yes, God is good. God is wonderful. I'm just happy to be amongst the living, doing better, and amongst friends. Get a chance to say it. I'm amongst friends and amongst family. I get to say that to my family and my friends and everybody, and that's the best thing that I could ask for. And thanks and James, thank you for including me in this. This is fun. This is fantastic. I love doing this. This is our therapy session. I love it, man.
It is. Well, you're my brother, and I'm so glad to have you here, because I know it was really touch and go last year. I was concerned. Man, I think back to where you and me were 2 years ago, the day of Thanksgiving. We were watching the West practice, and it just seemed like after it was almost like that was the climax, So, and then everything, you lost family members, you got sick, and then everything that I've dealt with my parents and stuff, and job change and all that. But I can honestly say, when sometimes you walk through the fires of hell, the payoff at the end is worth it, especially of who you've got behind you, and who you believe in. So not to preach, but that's just what I believe. And honestly, I love doing this show with you guys, and I want to keep it going. And like I said, get your shows off the air and or get them up on the air, and let's see what we can do, and just keep doing this thing and see what episode 150 next year brings us, and just keep going to those milestones and everything like that.
Man,
but
James, I want to give a shout out to James, to Chris and Jamie.
Yes.
Pray for them. Love
Chris and Jamie Smith.
Love those guys. Love them. I've known Chris for a long, long time. Jamie's Chris is like family to me. So I love them both. Just praying for them. Want the best for them.
I agree. No, I agree 100%. Yeah, and I'm praying for them and praying for everybody. And I will say this: we will be on next week for next Wednesday, pre-Thanksgiving. So bring your favorite dishes, and we'll talk about. I'm sure we'll have some more nice comments for the committee of what they do next week. And then, unfortunately, guys, it's so bittersweet. One of my favorite holidays, but also the culmination of the final regular season week of the sport I love the most, college football. And we'll break it down. We'll break it down.
Top 10 next week of food. Top 10 Top
We'll do
10
it.
foods.
We'll do it. We'll do it. And Shane, remember last year's episode where that girl thought that she had made some really good macaroni and cheese, and those were two of the worst macaroni and cheeses we had ever the hell seen between two sisters. I'm like, who the hell told you to make mac and cheese for the damn Thanksgiving?
How bad was it?
Kraft stovetop would be better, honestly.
You got to put years into it, and then there's got to be a committee that acknowledges, okay, you get to make it. And you don't just show up with the mac and cheese like that. No.
Yeah, you just can't show up that way.
Kerry, here's the best part of it. I shared it on Facebook with Shane and Two Pair. So you know it's that memories from last year. So the minute it comes on my feed, I will send it to you, my good man. Honestly, it's so bad. I mean, it will make you throw up. It looks like throw up with like the cheese whiz on top. It's awful. It's terrible. It's like the ACC in football. It sucks. I mean, it's just awful. So yeah, but
that's pitiful.
It's not even worthy to be called macaroni and cheese.
You got that right.
The 2-minute cup Kraft is better than that. But anyway, yeah. Well, guys, great show as always. Sentiani, 100 episodes.
Sentiani.
And hit that like and subscribe button for Two Pair Tate. My guy, Coach Shane O'Mac, Big Game, Kerry Reeves. This is the Italian Stallion signing off. You know how we end every show, baby. We throw that W up. We are all winners here. We're rebels with a cause, because that cause don't stop when that clock hits zero. Enjoy this weekend, baby. Go all our teams. Vols, get it done. And real quick, last thing, Stallion Speaks Sunday, and then Monday, tune into Real Talk, because you're going to watch the Stallion get his ass handed to him for opening his mouth up by Little Sister Shy. But you won't want to miss it, 8 o'clock on the YouTube. We'll be promoting it on Sunday. So, but anyway, but have a great night, everybody. Thanks again, and we'll catch you on the flip side. Rebels with a Cause, we out.
See ya.
See ya.